Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is the Kia Sonet media dive and my first ever participation with a major brand. So again, I would like to thank Kia Philippines for inviting me, and this is our ride for today. So this is the Kia Sonet SX top of the line, but on the way to Tagaytay, where we're going is this Kia Sonet EX. Yes, we are driving first the middle trim variant of the Sonet. We're just waiting for everyone to ride in their respective cars, and I think I'm with Kuya Ref. I'm not sure who is with me, but we'll give them a shout out too once we get to drive. Now with this EX middle trim variant, we're just following the lead cars and the camera car. Yeah, just driving here, look, 87 kilometers per hour. It is pretty stable and very fuel efficient. And if you want to overtake, you can go to the speed limit literally instantly. This is what I like with the Kia Sonet. It's very peppy whilst being fuel efficient, and as you can see here on the dash, we've been doing so far 13.3 kilometers per liter, but we've been going more, and I was able to max out earlier off camera 16.7 kilometers per liter, which is pretty good for a very small and a very value-packed subcompact crossover SUV. Ayun, they're lito. So we're here now in our undisclosed location. Might be familiar to some, right? Because this is where Auto Deal actually shoots. Hey Kako, we found your shooting location now.
Yes, she did.
Now we know.
Don't tell anyone, okay?
Yes. Wow. That's beautiful. Oh, cute. Hey guys. Now here, arriving at our first shoot location, driving this a lot more now than usual, how this performs on the highway and a little bit now on the twisty driving side. That handling has been top notch. There's somewhat bad here and there, but it's not as bad as usual. And for what this is probably the best driving dynamics of any subcompact crossover that you can buy today. Even though it's a little bit too light for my liking, but there's still just enough heft. So being the Sonet overall, you still get the same ground clearance at 205 millimeters. Now being the EX model compared with the SX top of the line model, there's just been few differences with the exterior. Well, still, even though you go for this middle trim variant, you still get LED lights all around, including with your star map style DRLs. Side profile, as you can see, is pretty much the same. For the eagle-eyed viewer, now this is where you can spot the difference between the middle trim and the top of the line is the roof itself. The EX doesn't come now with a blacked out roof, but for some people out there who actually bought this vehicle already, so there's some batches of EX that came with the black top. Kind of bit hard to spot now between driving the EX and the SX model. Now here at the rear of the Sonet EX, well, I did say before that the rear of this looks a little bit similar like that of the Seltos, its bigger brother, and hence the lead car in front of us was a Seltos EX as well, so EX and EX. Anyways, so this is what's unique too with the Sonet. You get a very distinct LED light bar, even though this is the middle trim variant. And then open the boot hub, it's pretty much the same. So you have a total space here of 388 liters, and of course it will double once you fold all of the seats down. So everything mostly the same with the exterior and with the engine as well. So remember, powering this is a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 114 horsepower and 140 meters of torque, mated to an IVT transmission. So whatever Sonet variant you get, you still get the same engine and transmission apart from the LX base model manual. So this is the interior now of this Sonet EX. Lower it down so you can hear me. Here in the door card, pretty much the same like with the lower grade models, because everything now is plastic. You don't get any more of these soft pads. Visually, it looks almost identical with the lower trim LX models. And yeah, pretty refreshing that I'm driving a middle trim for once. It's not either the top of the line or the base model. So for this EX, big difference here, you get polyurethane now for your steering wheel. You get cruise control functions. It's not the fully adaptive system once. However, we found this cruise control still pretty good once we were driving here at SLEX earlier. You have an analog setup with a monochromatic display right in the middle that displays all of your important information. Still pretty handy. I like the old school ways since you all know me. And still, they did not remove this. You have a 7-inch infotainment system. And we tried the wireless Apple CarPlay. It connected very, very easy. So this is the older layout, unlike with the top-of-the-line SX models. But I'm very familiar with this older system because this was present in the Kia Soluto, the older Stonic, which the Sonet replaced, and the older Kia Grand Carnival. And still being the middle trim, you have a reverse camera with dynamic guidelines, which is pretty handy. This is now your climate control. Pretty standards, all buttons and knobs, which I don't mind. It's not something bad here in the infotainment system. Glove box, oh, that's actually pretty good. And then further down here below, you get 2 cubby spaces. And then you have a USB port, USB-C port, and a 12-volt socket. Now being the middle trim, sadly, you don't get wireless charging anymore. Gear shift, pretty conventional. And further behind, you cup holders with a cubby space for your phone and for your walkie-talkie if needed. Manual handbrake. Center console box, it's pretty small because not even a walkie-talkie standing up can fit in here. But what I commend though, during the trip on the way here to Tagaytay, are the seats. Yes, this is fabric now, but the outer layers are still leather and surprisingly as plush and as much comfortable like with the leathers, full leathers rather, of the Sonet SX models. So above here, conventional lights, sunglasses holder, visor, get vanity mirrors on either side. Don't extend still, but it's fine. Rear seats, pretty much the same layout. This is what I favored with this car for quite some time now. And being a middle trim, you still get 2 air conditioning vents, a cubby space, and a further 2 USB-C ports. And unlike with the LX base models, you get a central armrest with 2 cup holders. So despite now being in its middle trim, this Sonet EX is still great value. On what you get, you still get the amount of features and all that creature comforts as well. The looks, LED lights. Now, for the price of this, it's a little bit more expensive now because what I've showed you before with the rest of the models, like for the SX, except for the LX base models, now this one stands at 888,000 pesos from 868. Remember, that was the introductory price when this was launched here a couple of months ago. But for 888,000 pesos, I see no better subcompact crossover. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone here at Kia Philippines for inviting me and my first ever media dive with a major brand. So again, I really appreciate it. And I will see you hopefully soon with more future car reviews and more media dives. I will go now because I want to enjoy this view.